Thank you so much, Dr. Sheikh. Our next speaker is Hmong veteran from the Secret War, Sepo. Please welcome Sepo.
Nhớ rong ý chọn này thì cái tin cha,แต่nó cũng bề hồ tại bỏ nó cũng tua nó cũng chỉ tua và sở chế ý phá căn mường từ là do thì tua tổ su lần từ,แต่chỉ nó cũng tua cái nó cũng tua sang gà cho cái nhân dân, thì tua và khi bé lúc này thì do vì đó chỉ, bé họ muốn nông nghiệp lý cha, thì bé tua đó chỉ cho lúc tới chợ nó. giờ li nó lừa hai năng nhưng sách chỉ tàu bé nhưng xã thì bé giờ ít cho năng thảo nó thảo, tại vì cô sẽ chế tàu có tốt trò, ok rồi nè. giờ lên từ thế li mua tàu cho xia cho một bao, ít cho năng và cho đi, còn nơi tàu cho xia là một chỗ cho chế, giờ bé chẳng nó nữa, mà vì tàu thì cô giờ ít tàu có tốt trò, mê tàu cô nó nhung mua đi. Chúa xong cũng mua cho ba chồng phứ CIA lúc tới chồng bò giờ ý lúc tới chồng bên càng America chỉ sắm ăn gà tàu cho lúc tới chồng bò giờ li nó bò mua ô tô ít tàu giờ sẽ lâu tàu giờ sẽ xì giờ America giờ tuôn gà cho họ người yêu tăng nặng tròn địa tê America thế li sửa lô cả nó tua mua cho nhau cho như là cái tê giờ lên đó America từ cái người chỉ mua ít cho cái tờ giờ cho chỉ tàu người cho tu trò nhau như là cái tê tờ người tê tua tí to cho trồng phun bò thì chỉ bò giờ lúc tê chờ bên cạnh chỉ sắm mà giờ tàu có cho tờ là thế li mua hồ Secret War giờ lên nó là thế mua có cho nòng bòตัวทอท่านในพนปอก็ท่านในพนปอเป้วัวเปล่าอย่าเฮาลือป้าโจทย์จงฟื้นอเมริกาอย่าเลยอย่าที่อีเป็นรอรู้เรดาร์เนี่ยตรงผู้ปฏิอย่าที่อ้อก็เป็นเสียเจ้าเก๋โฮจิมินห์เทรลก็จอเตาจอทุกจอที่จะพาตูย้อนด่าเนี่ยละก็เต้นด่าดิจิตอลรอแล้วก็เป็นโจที่พาตูก็ตลอดเจอย่าที่เป้ป้าจออเมริกาวัวเตาปงเนี่ยหงตัวmộtตัวtrở thực địa tế Hồ Chí Minh trường nữa, bông cho năm bên, ba, nhà thiếp lâu, có trở có tàu lú, rồi lông chén, lọ ua America, CAI lú hết khổ rồi, giờ này nó bé thế tàu lồng tàu ba America cho nó, ua cho thọ America tàu thị, tu trò sứ tu can mương, kia cho Indo China nó tất cả lo mù lá, bé thế li nó chỉ tàu nhau chỉ tàu bé thế li tàu tua một chỗ lúc tới chào nó mà cú chùa bé mẹ đi nó sư chỉ nhau ý hai năng tư do sai chỉ tàu bé do có do cha chú bé cú xa thì bé sau đó bỏ lại nhà năng ý ya xa còn lâu qua lâu sau lử do nhện gà cho họ từ còn nhện gà nhà sau lử để sau một chỗ chùa sau một cha chú ý ba phần năng tư họ nó cú tua nó cú chùa tua sang gà xã tàu cho cái nhân dân có sai tàu bé trộn năng bé chia tua thằng nó thầu u lùm nó sẽ u chọn đó.
Hello everybody. Hello. Just like the previous speakers, I'm not here to oppose anybody or support anybody. I am here because of the issue that's established due to hate. When we identify communities by segregation, it does not help us. Right. We are a country, a nation of free people. We are a land of immigrants. And for that, we all came here for one reason. We wanted to be free and strive for our dreams. In order to do that, we need the ability to collaborate, cooperate, and work with each other. We are going to have disagreements, but those disagreements should not identify me for what I look like or who I may be, which will impact other people. If my wrongdoings, if my mistakes are going to impact other members of my community, then there is something wrong with the message we are sending. And for what we're dealing with right now, the pain that everybody's enduring, the pain that we've endured across the nation because of identities of culture, because of identities of our history, the lands where we came from, that is all wrong. We need to heal. We need to heal by communicating with each other, agreeing to disagree if we need to. But if my friend Steve has made mistakes, let them be his mistakes, not the mistakes of the whole community. If you want to talk about patriarch systems, my community also has systems very similar. We agree with each other, we listen to each other, and we listen to our elders who try to ensure that we follow an honorable integrity system where we all maintain who we are and our image portrays to others within our community. That is a system of patriarchy. However, if there's a complaint of that patriarchy system being domineering or influential or forceful, I'm only going to say I've suffered it in the last few weeks. That's enough. But for all of you, come together. Let those things be what they are. Let's overgrow them. Let's come together and work together as Elk Grove citizens. 2 years ago, Elk Grove did not need dirty politics. It does not need it now. So Elk Grove is better than that. We are better than that. So let's keep Elk Grove clean on the streets, on our schools. Let's make our schools better as best as we can. But above all, let's work together as citizens so we can keep the dirt out of our city politics and out of this place where we are. Thank you.
All right, everyone, and just a reminder, this is being broadcasted live on Facebook, on Elk Grove Media and News, and the conversation will continue tonight at 7:30. Our next speaker is Mariana Batiste. She's a constituent of Elk Grove, a delegate of the Sacramento Labor Council, a community and labor activist. Please welcome.
Good evening. You guys all look beautiful out there. Just want to let you know that. This is what solidarity and unity looks like. Beautiful community, inside and out. But just for the record, I want you to know that I am not here because Mayor Lee has asked me to be here. I am here because I'm an Elk Grovian just like all of you. And my kids graduated from Florin High. I also was an employee of the Elk Grove School District back in the 90s. So I know what racism looks like in this school district. And it's a shame that we're here in 2020 and we're still facing the same problems that we were facing back in 1996. I have been an elected official statewide, representing 14,000 people throughout the state of California under the University of California. This is for you, Bobby Allen, Singh Allen. As an elected leader, you have a fiduciary duty to uphold the vows that you take when you take oath in your office. And that oath simply states that you are going to represent all people and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. How dare you, and I mean how dare you, take this community and use it as your platform to do your dirty politics. It is not accepted, it's not welcome, and it won't be tolerated. the Hmong community. I have lots of friends in the Hmong community, and they're beautiful, and they're strong, and they're courageous, and I think you saw a little bit of that today. Do the right thing, and you know what the right thing is. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much for that. Our next speaker is iHMONG from Haisai Institute. All right, my apologies. We were missing my seat tonight. Our next, let's go ahead and move on to Garniel Boparai. He is the AD9 delegate. Please welcome.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Garniel Boparai, and I am a local Assembly District delegate. I would like to state that the Sikh community of Elk Grove stands with the Hmong community. Here is what I have to say briefly. This is not the first time Bobby Singh Allen has failed a minority community. She originates from a Punjabi Sikh family just like I do. However, Bobby Singh Allen has failed to represent the numerous Sikh children who have been bullied at Elk Grove Unified Schools. I can speak on a number of cases, one even as recent as last academic school year during remote learning. Imagine that, getting bullied during remote learning.
Shame on her!
However, for the sake of the victims, all I will have to say is that Bobby is yet to respond, let alone represent. Furthermore, Bobby Singh Allen has failed to recognize the 1984 Sikh genocide and the trauma that still affects our Sikh community today. Rather, she has chosen to fund her campaign with sources outside of Elk Grove that benefit from the corruption in our motherland due to the 1984 Sikh genocide. Think about that. She is collecting money outside of Elk Grove with foreign interests.
Wow! 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 Tell it! Let's do this.
You know, I have read a little bit on the secret war in Laos and of the refugees. I know there are similarities in our struggles, in the Sikh community and the Hmong and what we have faced in the recent decades. I ask, if Bobby refuses to acknowledge her own community's trauma and the injustices we have endured for her own personal gain, is she fit to represent any minority community? No! I believe Bobby's recent actions have already provided us an answer. It is time again that we take to the ballot and ensure that diversity of Elk Grove is respected in local cities.
Right.
I just want to say that, again, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I hope that we can heal together and that we can come out of this situation stronger as a community. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Garniel. I'd like to welcome a former Elk Grove Unified School District parent, Leticia Gilmore.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I want to thank Mr. David Fumavong and Dr. Foto Sheikh for inviting me to come out to this awesome gathering. So, as you heard, my husband and I are former Elk Grove School District parents. We have 4 children that have been in the school district. 2 are adults now. We have a 16-year-old and an 11-year-old. But the reason, other than COVID, for why we, as the reason we pulled out our youngest, we pulled our 16-year-old because of the bias that our 3 sons have experienced in the Elk Grove Unified School District. two particular instances for my 16-year-old. One, in one of his classes that he just had last year in his freshman year, the teacher decided to segregate him and separate him from the rest of the class purposely and humiliated my son, and my son came home hurt, but he's supposed to work with the group he's assigned to, but they can't exchange information. But she told us she wanted our son to be successful, but she set him up to fail. In another instance, in a class my son was in middle school, there were a couple of his friends and some other students who got suspended because one, they brought alcohol to school and they had been drinking and got caught. So upon one of his friends' return, in the class, the teacher has the audacity out loud to the students say, well, you know he's one of the drunks. And my son says to her, why did you say that? You're wrong for making that statement. And so what she did was sent my son out on a referral. So when a male staff member came to talk to my son about what he said, he basically told him, my silence about what she says means that I agree that what she said was right. And it was not. What she said was wrong. So I'm here to let Bobby Singh Allen know that what she said was wrong. You know, as I was here and listening to the young ladies who started off the speeches, one of them said something powerful. She said, today, the target is the Hmong community. Tomorrow, it could be your community. My Hmong sister, let me tell you something. For 400 years, the target has always been the black community. So, Hmong community, I understand your pain because we've been targeted for 400 years. Ali Mu and I were talking about Bobby Singh Allen's comments and the negative impact that it has had on your community, just like any other stereotype that is placed on a community of color. I don't know if any of you saw the press conference she had, I'm sure a lot of you did, where she said she wants to bring the community together. But that's not going to happen when you make blanketed racist comments against any community of color.
That's right. That's right.
As I look at all of you here, and I heard the same thing over and over, that we will not be silenced. And I thank you men for speaking up to let it be heard that you are not silencing your women. And my brother right here said, but we empower our women. And so to hear those young ladies who spoke, I want to let you know, Hmong community, tonight your voices have been heard. As you see, my shirt says, I don't know if you can see it, but it is a mantra that I have lived by for the last few years and will continue to live by. It says, silent no more. My life matters. So tonight, you are refusing to be silent anymore about the racism, the bias, the bigotry that exists here in Elk Grove, and as our illustrious former elected official has said, still exists in this school district. And I'm inspired by John Lewis to say tonight, if we're getting in trouble, guess what? We're getting in good trouble. We're getting in necessary trouble. And I want to encourage and challenge you as I stand with you as your African-American sister, but tonight I'm Hmong on tonight. To be silent no more, because my life matters and your life matters. My voice matters and your voice matters. And in November, my vote matters, and guess what? Your vote matters. God bless you all.
All right, thank you so much for that, Leticia. Our next speaker is Dr. Firdous Sheikh. She's an Elk Grove neurologist and has been for 30 years. She is also a community activist. Please welcome Dr. Sheikh.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I want to start off saying I am so proud and honored to be part of the Hmong community today. What I want to start off focusing is that when there is one bad leader, it creates an entire community of leaders. Today, what I saw and heard helps me understand what it means to truly empower yourself. I want to thank Leticia, Maurice, and the gentleman, Anthony, I believe his name is, for coming and standing with us here in solidarity. I stand with the Hmong community just like they stand with the Hmong community. What do we have in common today? What we have in common today is that multiple minorities suffer the same kind of racism and bigotry. The reason Martin Luther King is remembered even today is because many people like all of you stood behind him, standing for what is right. You have to give yourself a pat on your back because you took the time today to come out and stand here in solidarity for one reason, and that is to put an end to racism.
Keep the team alive!
When we have a leader who's propagating hate, division, and racism, if we are silent, that leads to violence from these leaders. And if you look at the Black community, for 400 years they have been struggling. As much as it pains our heart to watch what is happening to one African American after the other, we feel the pain, we suffer. It impacts our mental health. None of us should be living this oppressed life. Why do we elect leaders in public service? It is so that they can take care of the public, not give them pain. The first thing to understand today is Bobby Singh Allen is a pathetic leader. She has failed not just her own community that she represents, she has failed the Hmong community, she has failed the Black community, she has failed every minority because she is one insensitive leader. Yes, she is a bully. Thank you for reminding me. When a leader manifests deliberate disregard to a community that is hurting, when she deliberately disregards the fact that she has called them attack dogs, sheep, claiming that she is a lion, if she says you are a Klansman who practice silencing women, those are huge allegations. This not only tells you that she is uneducated, immature, but a pathetic leader because she does not understand the ramification of what this is going to lead to. It is this type of labeling people that has subjected the Black community to ongoing torment. Today I urge my Indian family out there, my Muslim families out there, my Black families out there, my Asian families out there. Racism is a disease that is targeted at all minorities. Nobody escapes it. Like Sean Yang said, and iHMONG, who I have a lot of respect for, thank you for speaking up. They said, today it is us, tomorrow it's going to be you. So, if you're comfortable and sitting in your homes today, it's because the Hmongs are taking the pain for you today. So tomorrow when you get targeted, if you want the Hmongs to be standing by you, today you will stand with them. Because there is no room for complacency. Leadership is not about a private club. It is not about your friends pushing you to leadership. Leadership is about people. And it is about all the people of Elk Grove. So if yes. Now, I want to give an opportunity for the school board and for the city council to manifest their leadership by recognizing Bobby Singh Allen's failed leadership. This is not rocket science. Anybody who listens to her, anybody who reads about what she says, it takes you 2 minutes to understand that Bobby Singh Allen has to be taken down from her leadership. A woman who is not even sensitive to her own culture. She targets her Sikh community like as if they belong to some horrific patriarchal community. Every community has its positives and negatives. Who is perfect? Nobody is. But we all know as minorities that we became who we are today because of thousands of years of struggle and heritage. We have a culture, we have a tradition, and we have an identity. That's right. If Bobby Singh Allen is so ill-informed that she chooses to discount a heritage that speaks of thousands of years of sacrifice, she has no place in any leadership. So I urge all of you today, what happens when a bad leader shows up? It is an opportunity for all the minorities, and in fact every single person in the Elk Grove community, to stand up and demand a good leader. Because once you give them the power of leadership, you can see the damage they can do. Her disregard, her lack of remorse, her lack of even understanding the damage she's doing, that should tell you that we have to be extra careful who we put our vote for. My appeal goes to every person in Elk Grove. When I go and raise my voice for George Floyd and stand in solidarity with the black community, Steve Lee does not send me there. When I go and stand for a vigil that happened to some other community, even the Muslim community, when they get targeted, Steve Lee is not sending me there. If you look at it, Bobby Singh Allen has conveniently shoved all the blame on Steve Lee. What she's forgetting is that every single person in Elk Grove is intelligent, and what they don't see her is take responsibility for the nonsense that she is propagating in Elk Grove. So if any of you can understand what she is saying in the pretext of being a leader, she says, I want to be a mayor because Steve Lee is a bully. How intelligent is that? How intelligent is that?
Not very intelligent.
And what is even more stupid, pardon my language, is that she has not provided any proof for the bully tales that she has, which is already 8 years old. So if this is the kind of leader we want, of your comfort level, ask yourself who should be standing in the position of leadership. Listen to the children of El Grove. She has literally hurt the school children. El Grove is a family-oriented town. We raise wonderful families. I've been here for 30 years. Like our Sikh gentleman here said, we didn't have dirty politics 2 years ago. If all of a sudden we are being consumed with dirty politics, all the fingers point to one new player, and that is Bobby Singh Allen. Take her down. That's all I say. Take her down. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity, and I love all of you. I appreciate this opportunity. I stand in solidarity till you win this race. Thank you.